Good morning, traders. This is Anka Metcalf with Trade Out Loud, and this is the pre-market game plan for 2020, and it is 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the economic calendar. For today, 8:30, we have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index that is going to come out in about 2 minutes. Also, unemployment claims. And at 10 o'clock, we have CB Lending Index. And at 10:30, we have natural gas storage as planned. And at 11 o'clock, we have crude oil inventories. Day delayed because of the long holiday on Monday. Let's begin with the E-mini Dow today. The E-mini Dow is down 53 points, relatively flat price action from the overnight trading session. Initial move down in the Asian session took the price into the 29,240 level, from which it bounced all the way still into the Asian session to the European session. Created resistance 29,377 is also a resistance from prior price action that was noted last week and 2 weeks ago. From that point, the price got rejected and it was sent back down to support level into the 240 zone. Right now, there's a cluster that is developed between 29,330 and the support from the overnight price action into the 29,240. A break over this level of 29,327 will bring higher prices. Please note that this is also the same area where we were expecting a breakout in the Dow. Dow came in a little bit later in the game, came after 11 o'clock, but had a really nice follow through into the 380 area, which we had target level, and it came again to the secondary target over 400, over 29,400. Which was our target, and here it is, the 434. So please review your letter for yesterday with our levels, and you could see that we have achieved the levels in yesterday's trading session. So for today, the game plan is to wait for a break over the 327 to 330 area. I'm going to wait for the numbers to come out, and I typically like to wait closer to 9 o'clock to see how the price action is digested, and the economic numbers that are coming in are being digested by price, by the market in general. If we get a break over the 29.3, let's say 330 level, we can apply the risk into the 240, so we're not going to be fleeced out of the game. Targets are as follows. We're going to be looking again for 380. So basically yesterday's targets are going to be in play: 400, 420, and 430. And again, if we get into this point, I have no doubt that we're going to have a continuation higher into the 29,460 or so. Let's continue with the mini S&P. And like I said, throughout the board, we have a very nice synchronicity, and we could pretty much see that the price is holding at this point and it's not declining. The one thing that concerns me just a little bit on the trading session today is that we have a high and a lower high that was established in in last night's trading session, and actually in today's trading session. However, we're still holding on support, so we're still holding the major trend. The major trend is intact. We have the lows, higher lows, and we have the higher highs that keep on printing. However, a little bit of a dysynchronicity at this level right here. So for that reason, today I want to be a little bit more careful. We had monster gains in yesterday's trading session. We continue to ride gold and oil from last week, and it's been just an incredible ride for us. The bottom line is that I'm going to start being bullish over 33.86 today. 33.86 is also a confluence area of resistance, and if the price is going to break over this area, then we could see the price advance towards 90, and that's going to create price velocity that may push the price even higher back into the high. We have support from the overnight trading session, and also from yesterday's trading session, and also from last Tuesday's high into the 33.75. And as long as the support level is going to hold, then we could see, we could pretty much expect the price to ascend higher. If not, price is going to get rejected. If the price is going to get pushed below 75, We may have a moderately bearish situation where we could have the price follow through lower, not by much, with the first target into, so the breakdown would be under 76 with the first target into the 75, and probably follow through into the 70s, but careful here. This is going to be a heavy congestion zone into the 70, and if the price is going to drip slowly into this area, it may try to find buyers at this point. So we'd probably find buyers at this point. Let's continue with NASDAQ. NASDAQ had relative strength from yesterday's trading session, and how was one of the most dynamic price advances. You could see that it reached 97.63 for the high. This is an all-time high. Today, a little bit of disturbance in price. We have 1, 2, 3 bar down, created a new support into a minor support zone. Also a heavy confluence area, 96.85. This level needs to hold for the bullish case. If this level is not going to hold, then we could see further advance lower, possibly to 64 and 50. But again, this being a confluence area, I am not going to erase the fact that we may see buyers showing up here again to buy the dip. Also, what we see here is that we have a high, we have a low, and we have a lower high, and we have a higher low. So we pretty much have, I would call this a bullish pennant. Any break over 29 can actually bring higher prices into the 44. They're not going to be tremendous targets. They're not going to be really big follow-through targets like we had yesterday. So we're going to have to work with smaller profits. But the breakout area is going to be, and I'm going to put it right here, at 29 to 30. If it prints 29 to 30, then yes, this is going to start pushing higher. Also, another thing that I have to watch today is the 4-hour, because this is going to have a lot of say. Right now, the price is being dragged to the 10 exponential moving average, and if the price is going to start advancing over that 30 level, it's going to possibly do this reversal on the 4-hour, which will enable the price to have that tradable void to the 44. So from 30 to 40, let's say, for about a 10-point move in that direction. Russell here. So today it's going to be kind of like, let's wait and see what happens. And targets are going to be definitely smaller than what we had in yesterday's trading session. The bigger picture in Russell is going to be a break over 1693. The uptrend is still intact. However, notice the high, lower high, so we have not printed new highs since last Friday in Russell. So this is a little bit concerning for the bullish case, because we have a high, lower high, and the tops are falling in this area. Price getting constantly rejected into this 95 to 93 zone. And also the overnight support level is 85. It's still into a very messy, I would say very messy sideways range. I wouldn't necessarily try to trade Russell today. It's not going to be one of my picks, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Let's jump into gold. Gold is a swing. We have monster profits. We talked about it yesterday since the breakout into the 80s and 90s, and I actually had it from before at 90s, and then it fell into the 80s, and then I called a breakout over the 80s, which took a little bit of time, but it worked, and the price progressed higher into the 85. Then we had another break over this 88 to 90 level, and once we broke this level again, the price started to ascend. You can see that this is not the clearest pattern, and it's not, one of the most beautiful patterns ever, because it is quite wavy and it is not that fluent. However, we are looking for further extensions higher into the 1630, and this is also resistance that is deriving from a higher time frame. In fact, it's deriving from a monthly monthly chart. So we do have further projections into the 30s and into the 40s with gold. I'm not making any changes to it. I'm just going to give it a little bit of room to project higher, but don't forget, take some profits. We had targets into 10 and 20. and it is trading 21 right now. So don't be afraid to take targets and scale out always into targets and leave the last lot to rally. And like I mentioned before, I am going to keep one lot for further continuation higher into the 1700, and this is going to be long term, 1700, 1720, 1745 plus. Let's take a look at another winner that we have on our hands. It's just beautiful trade. We took it all as part of a daily reversal, and this is the trade that we initiated. So we had clear confirmation of a temporary bottom into the 49.30 area, and this is us right here initiating the trade at $50.50. Like I said, not the cleanest pattern along with gold, but it was definitely a trading opportunity for us, and we had targets into the 51.30 level. We also had targets into the 51.80. We had targets into the 52.50 and 52.60, targets into the 53.40, and as I mentioned in all the videos that I sent out last week and this week, we have a tradable void to $54.30, and we have a next target level, and this is a confluence area into the 54.80 zone. For today's trading session, I don't see any trading opportunities, and remember, I don't day trade oil ahead of oil inventory numbers, but make sure that you scale at targets and also lift your stops to protect the profits that you have. Currently, there is a strong support level that is being developed into the 53.40 level. So this may be a trail zone for price. But again, we could see further prices into the 54.40, 54.38. One last look at the bonds. The bonds are just pushing higher in today's trading session. I did not hold on to bonds, so I'm out of bonds right now. But for those of you that are still in, just want to give you a heads up. This is the target 163.28, and this is the immediate target. We also have targets into the 164. And if we break that 164 level, then we have a nice tradable void to 165 for the swing portion. This is all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last video of this week. Happy trading, everyone.